come you can never like I told you we were going to start recording.
I, you
You have
guys,
to cough.
I have this thing where I have to cough as soon as we start recording every time. I'm totally fine until then, and then all of a sudden I gotta cough. It's a thing. I don't know. Hi, Jen.
Well, hi Jesse.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are
Good.
you?
We tried that thing where we introduced ourselves last week, and I listened to it and I like cringed because I sounded so annoying. So I think we just go back to talking to each other.
Yeah, I thought it was more natural, but I follow your lead with all things podcast. So
Yeah. I think we just go back to being normal people, not yelling my name. I was like, "Hi, I'm Jesse." Like it was just very like
yeah.
I felt like Blippy or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you? Tell me about your week.
Um, well, I'm doing okay.
Okay. Let's
My
start with your
I'm
low. I know why you're doing okay.
I know. And I hate to be such a Debbie Downer. I'm like trying to come from a place of gratitude, but I filled out the claim for Make Space and we
Mm,
have about $8,000 of damage to our furniture and another 5 to 600 on the walls.
that's awful.
I thought it was going to be like 3 to 4, which I
I
still
know
wasn't
you were like
happy
estimating
about.
you were like high 5,000 last time. And then I
Uh-huh.
remember when we were sitting doing the other podcast, you realized like a couple other things that had been broken. That's
Yeah, and so I'm
yikes.
mentally struggling with it because we've just been on, which I'm sure everyone is so sick of hearing, but we've just been on this like long journey of waiting 6 months to get into our house. And now
Right.
I'm 31 weeks pregnant and I just want to get settled and hang out. And
Mhm.
this make space claim is making me feel like I'm in purgatory still. I want to close
Yeah.
the old chapter and start the new one.
It's also like you had to have like all your receipts and everything, which like only you would
Hmm.
have those anyway.
Oh,
But
I'm a
even
ninja.
you have, Jen, if
I
anyone asks
found,
me for a receipt from past like 2 days ago, you're shit out of luck. Like
oh,
it's not there.
I actually thought about you while I was filling it out because I was like, no way Jesse could survive this process. I found
No way.
of the 19 receipts, I had 16 of them and was done in 2 hours.
Mm-mm. I would have zero of them. Zero. Maybe if I got like an email from like Crate and Barrel or something with a receipt,
And I found
maybe
links for everything.
because I have like
Um,
120,000 emails. So I could probably dig through and find one of those receipts. But like, no, I would have been screwed. They would have
yeah,
given
I
me
mean,
back $30 and called it a day.
I have to give a shout out to Gmail too, because they really helped me pull through on finding all the receipts. But yeah, so we'll see where this nets out. I'm also just really bummed too because I really like the company Makespace. I've
Yeah.
worked with them before.
I really hope they make
Uh,
this right.
yeah, and I have recommended them to I don't know how many people.
Yeah. You recommended
When I
them to
was
me when
working
we
with
moved.
Yes, I
Yeah.
recommend them to everyone and I have followers reach out. I don't want to say every week, but definitely every month and I
Yeah.
always recommend them. I tag them in all my stuff regardless. So I'm also just shocked at how bad the whole thing went. I mean,
Yeah.
it broken bookcase or something. Okay, fine. I could get over it. Even just like one dresser, but literally everything.
It was everything. It was
So,
bad.
anyways, that has me a bit down, but we're gonna make it through.
What's your high?
So my high I'm very excited about. We are going to be working with Cafe Appliances again for our kitchen, and I'm
That's so
super
exciting.
pumped because I love Cafe Appliances.
I am super pumped for you. I also so I last time or at Jen's old house, she got this new coffee maker, this Cafe Appliances coffee maker, and I used it and like fell in love with it and I'm obsessed with it. And they actually just I am partnering with them and they just sent me one and we are in love with it. We like make our coffee from our bed. But yeah, Jen has got me hooked on Cafe Appliances and they're incredible. And I'm so excited you're working with them again. Your kitchen's going to be beautiful.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so
It's going to be
pumped.
so
This
pretty.
is uh this is such a privileged statement on my end, but like our appliances are very nice, but I just love Cafe so much. So when they agreed to partner again, I was like over the moon.
Yeah, and also like you have that beautiful big double oven on the side,
Yes.
which like my dream is a double oven. I like I cook so much, and I just love a double oven. So like,
My
especially like
dream is actually you cooking in my kitchen.
I was gonna say, so now I'm gonna come over and cook in your kitchen. This is what I do. I actually like, my friend has this wolf range, and it's like beautiful and lovely. And I swear sometimes I think I've cooked on it more than she has, because I always just like go over and cook because it's so nice. It's so lovely. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing like a good appliance, especially like I like love to cook, but I love a double oven, and I love like it's gonna not only is it like so practical if you cook a lot, but then it's also beautiful. Like the cafe line is so pretty.
It's
And
so pretty.
I didn't realize until recently, like when I downloaded their app, the whole like they fix it. So it's like Sonos. Sonos, like they're basically their whole
Yes.
thing is like they don't get dated because they are constantly updating the software, and like they make it so that you can update the software with like most of the things. I think the only thing that didn't update was like Alexa, but most of their stuff will last for like 10 plus years because you can update. It's the same thing with Cafe, where like you can update, like it's super like technologically advanced. I thought they were
Oh,
just
it's
pretty, but
wonderful. At our old house, we used to play with Emmy in the backyard because like 4:30 to 6 is kind of our family time. We go for a
yeah.
walk, we play, whatever. And I would always preheat the oven on the way home using the app because then we would be home in like 10
Yeah.
minutes.
It's like my
And
mind is like, that's the best thing you can do. Cause sometimes I do the same thing. Like we're in a meeting at 4 o'clock and I want to preheat the oven, or I forget to, and then Teddy gets home and then I'm like, oh my God, I got to heat it to 425 to roast. And then that's another 30, it's just like a lot. So
yes.
yeah, I'm.
And their dishwasher is my favorite because it has these special bottle jets. So it cleans
Oh,
your
baby
bottles
bottle.
perfectly. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then this is like totally bougie. And then we can stop talking about cafe appliances because that's not even our subject today. We're both just like
I
geeking
get
out.
very excited about appliances.
But they intentionally have a very gentle, polite little ding for every single appliance when it's done running, and they're all different.
Oh, that's interesting.
I love the intention behind it.
That's really late. That actually, I love the coffee maker ding now that you say that. It's like gentle, and unlike my fridge alarm that just goes beep,
Yes.
beep, beep, and then Kyle
Oh,
like
yeah.
yells from
Other
downstairs, "Where's
appliances yell at
the
you. Other appliances yell at you, and cafe is a gentle tap on the shoulder. Hey, your coffee's ready. You left the
fridge?"
fridge door open.
You're so sophisticated. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'll
Yeah.
come cook for you.
So, anyways, that's my high, and it most definitely outweighs make space.
Well,
I really love you. I want to hear your highs and lows this week because you mentioned them to me just before we got on, and I think they are great.
Jen was like, "Wow, I'm jealous of your highs and lows," because I was like, "That's really nice." She's like, "They're so vain and lovely." I was like, "That is a first for a long time." I think my low was just like, "I'm still pregnant" for like
Yeah.
the first 10 episodes. Okay, so should I start? I'll start with my high. My high is that I stopped breastfeeding a couple weeks ago. That's also a high, but that's not my high. But I, for the first time in like I think over a year, got fresh Botox, and it's like kicking in right now, and I am just obsessed and in love with it. I was like, so I go to my friend Michelle Shetty. She is one of the owners of the Fits, and she's also like the best. Everyone there is fantastic. So I just, obviously I have a slight bias because we're also like very good friends. But she is fantastic, and she's like, I'd let other people there touch my face, but she's the only person, she'd be my first preference always. But anyway, I also feel like when I have like Botox, it also makes me like less stressed, which there are actually studies that are like going on that talk about like Botox, like preventing depression or helping with depression symptoms, because you can't like shrug your face or whatever. Like, and I don't know. I'm explaining this really poorly. Maybe I'll get Michelle to send me an article for the show notes. But anyway,
I've never
yes,
had it. Does it hurt?
it doesn't hurt. It's like barely a pinch sometimes. Like I'd say like 10 to 20% of the pokes pinch a tiny bit, but it's not even like a pinch. I don't know. It's like you
So it's kind of like acupuncture. I don't know if you've done that.
yes, it's exactly like acupuncture. Like every once in a while you're like,
Okay.
oh, that's weird, but like it's not, yeah, it doesn't hurt.
I've never had it.
It just like makes your face feel so fresh. Like I just always feel like such a tired mom. And like whenever I have my Botox freshly done, it's just like I feel young again. um your makeup goes on so much smoother, it's like you don't get everything in your creases. Again, it's not for everyone, but if it is for you, go see Michelle. She's the best. And she's so like um it's so like subtle. Like it's not, she doesn't do
Yeah,
anything
she's very good. I
she's
always
very
watch her
natural.
before and afters.
Yeah, it's like everything looks so natural, and like you would never know unless you know what to look for, unless I told you. And yeah, anyway, so I'm very excited. I'm my fresh Botox again for the first time in a year, and I'm starting to feel like myself again.
Good.
And my low,
I love your low.
so okay, I actually think you can probably relate to this a bit because we've both been like, we haven't been pregnant for 4 years, but it's like,
Oh, yeah. And then I was pregnant during a different season. So like all my clothes,
right.
I look like Adam Sandler in all my
So it's
clothes.
like, so it's like
No offense to Adam Sandler.
I was pregnant like 2018, right? We were pregnant for most of that year. Both of us were. And then the year after pregnancy, it's just like, you're not back in your clothes generally. Well, maybe some lucky people
No.
are, but like, you're not feeling great, whatever. So it's like that. We were just saying like, it takes like, you have like another pregnancy to get back to where you were at least. And I
Mhm.
definitely was not. And so then but then that was like 2019. I didn't feel great. But then 2020 came and we were inside the whole time. So it's not like I was
Yeah.
buying any new clothes. Like, I don't know, I was in sweatpants all year. And then 2021, I was pregnant again. So I was pregnant for most of this year. So again, I'm not like one of those people that like really dives into pregnancy fashion. I'm like,
No.
I just want to wear something oversized that fits. And so yeah, now I feel like I haven't been in the fashion scene since 2017. And I feel like I have nothing to wear. Like my entire closet is dated. It's about to be 2022 and I have not like really bought new clothes or like, you know, I don't know, since 2017. And like skinny jeans are out.
On,
I don't
I
own
know,
anything
which is
other
just depressing.
I know. And it's like, not that I'm not one of those people that's like, I cannot wear skinny jeans, but I do want some things that like feel a little bit trendier. And I just feel like my whole closet I could. And also like 2017, I was like not even married and then didn't have a kid. And so I'm like, and lived in New York for most of the year. Like I was wearing stilettos still, it's like, I don't need the
Right.
5-inch heels in my closet anymore. What am I supposed to do with these?
Yeah.
So there's just like my whole closet just feels like obsolete. Like I could probably throw away 90% of the things and not miss them. So I really want to like get new clothes, but I'm also at the point in my life where I'm like, okay, I'm not just buying like a bunch of junk, but I'm also at the point in my life, and I'm not being this person. I know everyone I know, I'm like 8 weeks postpartum. I'm not like, I need to lose weight immediately. Like it's not like this crazy thing, but I also just don't want to like buy something and then in 6 months it's too big. So especially if it's like I'm buying investment pieces. So I'm just like a little bit frustrated with all of it and like probably just need to buy a
I've
couple things to like get
I
me through.
totally get that. I was saying to you before we started recording, I found the first 6 months to be relatively frustrating postpartum because you're
Yeah.
like, cool, the baby's out. Can I have my body back now? And
Right. And then like everything's soft and you're not as strong as you were. And
yeah,
it's not even a weight thing. It's like just like
it's not really weight. It just, yeah, it just everything's off.
yeah, and then your hormones, I feel like my hormones make me so much puffier. Like they're, when I'm trying to get back to baseline, like my face feels
Yes.
puffy still. And it's just like, yeah. So
Oh my
now
God.
that I'm not
Speaking of,
breastfeeding, what?
we got our family photos last week and like they're really great. We always work with Laura Michelle Photography and they're
She's
awesome. But
incredible.
every time I laughed in the photo, I have like a double chin. Like, oh dear God. Like Emmy and Matt look just beautiful, like perfect little humans. And then here's me on the side, like chubby with a double chin. Like, okay, great.
Honestly, good for you and Michelle. I should have done it this time. I like forced one of my friends last time to take pregnancy pictures, and I was like, I'll do it this time. And then I was like, absolutely not. No one put a camera on me.
So to be fair, I intentionally only did a mini
Mini
session
session. But it's
because I
still,
was like, I can do 20 minutes,
yeah, it's
but
like still
beyond that, I'll get
memories.
stressed with outfits and,
Yeah,
investment and everything else.
totally. No, I think I'm like, we're doing pictures with our wedding photographer actually in November.
That'll
Which
be
I thought was
nice.
like great. It was like enough time for me to not feel like a zombie. And yeah, she's going to be in town for a wedding, so it's like she's just hopping in and she's going to shoot us too, which is exciting. I love her. We've kept in contact. So her name's Galaxy Andrews. We'll include her stuff in the show notes too. She's wonderful. If you're looking for a wedding photographer, she flew out to Mexico to do our photos. But anyway, she's doing our family photos, which is the first set of family photos we're taking this time. But yeah, Lauren did. She's not local though. She's not Chicago based. She is here for weddings every once in a while. But Lauren was incredible, and she did Michelle's family photos too, and they were just
Yeah, and they look great.
beautiful. Oh my god, they were so cute.
She's also just like a magician with kids. She's really good at shooting toddlers because toddlers, can do anything. And
Yeah,
somehow we always get a photo that works.
I was gonna say, what's funny is Michelle after that shoot, she was like, Lauren was incredible, but like Ellie would not smile, and like I hope she got at least one good picture. And like she showed me the pictures, and like every single picture, Ellie is like
Yeah.
smiling and looks like the happiest kid ever. So
She's really good at shooting
yeah,
families.
no, all of her photos are. Oh, she also shot. Did you see Otis? Otis is an old
Oh
friend.
my God. Ojas's photos are
Oh
gorgeous.
my god! I was like, I have you ever? I was like scrolling by them, and I was like, who is this goddess? Oh my god, I know her. You know what I mean? Like they were
Same.
stunning. Oh my god, yeah, those were beautiful.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
so should we tell the people what we're talking about today?
yeah, we should. So, this is a topic near and dear to our hearts. It's also like a love-hate relationship I think we have with it, but I think we have some good
Mhm.
tips that, people can use. We are going to tell you ways you can use social media to grow your small business. Jen and I both have a lot of experience here and also have kind of been in it for a while, like since what, 2015 plus
Yes.
or plus or minus a few years. So I think we have like a lot of experience and also have understood like how much it's changed since 2015. Honestly, it was I probably even before that, but yeah, how much it's changed and the little things, the algorithms that have kind of like screwed everyone, but I think it's still possible to grow and it's still necessary. It's a necessary evil sometimes. But I think there are ways you can use it to really help your business.
Yeah. So let's jump right in.
Yeah.
One of the ways you can use social media to grow your business is that it's a great way to connect and interact with your customers.
Mhm.
Um, I actually love it when small businesses use Instagram as their customer service department.
I agree because it's super convenient for
Yes.
customers. It makes the whole process super easy instead of an email and waiting for an email back and blah blah blah, or like something on your site. It makes the experience really seamless, I think. And if you're already on it all the time, it just makes it, I think, a lot faster.
And it's also a great use for focus groups. Like you can create polls and stories to
Yeah.
get inputs on some of the upcoming decisions you have.
I was going to say, I think one of the most underutilized things, and people are always like, what do we post on stories? Or like, how do we use stories? And I think a lot of the time it's make it fun, but also allow your customers to like vote on things, like if you're an inventory based business, like allow them to vote on designs, or like if you were in between, I don't know, two glasses or two books for your shop, like allow them to vote on which one they want. And it's a great way.
Mhm.
People polls get a lot of engagement. And I think that it's
Yes.
something people don't realize, like, and people love it. It's just fun. I also know people that just do fun polls. Like, do you like summer, or winter? Do you like the beach or the mountains? Just as a way to get to know your customers.
Mhm. And if you are using it that way, it's really important to respond to all comments you get
Yep.
and also
I,
follow your loyal customers.
yeah, I think it's great. I love when small businesses that I love follow me and like
Mhm.
interact with my life. I think it's a great way to like I've had businesses, realize like it's my birthday or it's my son's birthday and they like send something or, whatever it is. And you can either reach out and ask if you can send something, or if you have their address, you can just send it over. If it's an anniversary, depending on like what's relevant to your business, I think that it's a great way to keep up with your customers and just add these extra little things that make your customer service just a little bit more special. And then even just like a comment, if it's someone's birthday or an anniversary or a work anniversary, or they got married or whatever it is, it's nice when like a business that you support is like supporting you too. It's like, oh, that's so nice, like they went out of their way to comment.
Yeah, I think it's a way to stay personal and relevant.
Yep, I agree. And it's, yeah, to stay top of mind with your customers. It's like, oh right, I need a gift, so I should go to them.
So, what would you say is another reason that you can use social media to build your business?
So, well, I think to grow, I think you also need to create accounts across all social media. I think that this is something we tell people all the time. We see this happen. People have created like an Instagram account and a Facebook account, and then they don't think they'll be using TikTok or YouTube or Pinterest, and then they can't get the same username. I find it very annoying when businesses have different usernames across different accounts. So we always tell our clients, grab your username, even if you're not sure you're going to use it, because you don't want someone to try and find you and it take them to another page. I just think it's nice to have consistency across accounts and some sort of presence, even if it's, like we tell our clients to turn on the auto post to Twitter from Instagram or from Facebook, wherever you're posting, because it is basically no extra work for you. And then you already have a presence on that platform. So if someone's looking for you or finds you, it's still, it's just recycled content.
Yeah. And we're big fans of auto posting from Instagram to Facebook because you can still drive a decent amount of traffic to your website.
Yeah. And that's both static posts as well as stories. Facebook is, I think, a social network that, I mean, I've got a lot of issues with Facebook. Everyone does. But for a business, you don't realize sometimes that people are clicking through because people don't interact necessarily as much as they do on Instagram these days on Facebook. So you might not be getting the likes or the comments, but what you might not realize is that people are clicking through to your website from posts. So like Jen said, we always recommend at least posting through to Facebook from Instagram.
And I will say it's also important to have a diversified strategy. So Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same company. They're both owned by Facebook. They have gone down twice in the last couple years, and everyone loses their mind when it goes down. But if you run a strong website or you're also strong on a different social media platform, you can continue to drive traffic and you will not lose your mind if a channel goes down.
Yeah, we did an episode last week on using Pinterest. We're big fans of Pinterest recently, and worth checking out if you're looking to diversify more outside of Instagram and Facebook.
Yes, and hint, you should diversify. So the other thing you can do is share content that's relevant to your business, not just personal posts or advertisements. It's got to be a nice blend. And Jessie, I feel like you're kind of the content queen in our camp. So I would love to hear from you what the right mix looks like.
So I think you should only be selling like 20% of the time, or hard selling. And then the rest of the time, find ways to add value. I think people find this really hard because certain businesses, it's like, well, where am I adding value? I'm not a life coach, or I'm not, it's some businesses obviously lend themselves more to valuable content, I guess. But I think if you dig a little bit deeper, you can find different ways to add value. And I think like an example is like, if you're a bakery, yes, like share what you're baking, but you could also like share recipes from your bakery, or, like your favorite sugar cookies, or if everyone loves your chocolate chip cookies, share that recipe. Or if you some recipes are like proprietary and you don't want to share them, make up a new one that's just for your Instagram followers, so that people feel like they're adding value. I think oftentimes people think that they're giving things away, and it's actually, they're so scared that they're not charging for it because it is valuable. And it's actually just like, when you add value for free, then people feel a little bit more connected, and they feel, I don't know if like indebted to you is the right word, but they want to support you more.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think that like a lot of times we see businesses selling too much on Instagram, and it's like just sell, sell, sell. And it's like the people on the other side, social media is there to like make friends, so like they want to see the business as a person with more personality. So maybe that's sharing behind the scenes of like what's happening on stories, or I don't even know what else. Sharing personal anecdotes, sharing more about like how you built the business, sharing more about what you're doing every day. If it's appropriate, like you going face to camera on your stories, and making it so that like the business has a bit more of a soul.
Now, I have an interesting call out for you here because oftentimes we hear from clients. So we will often have solopreneurs who start a company
Mhm.
with the intent of growing their company to be larger than just them.
Mhm.
And they'll always push back on us. I shouldn't say always, but many of them will push back on us like, well, it's about the company. It's not about me. So should I still be in stories?
I think yes. I think, who's a big who does this really well. And it depends on how much bandwidth you have. If you want to, you can also do it from your personal account and kind of like share back and forth. But Sarah Blakely of Spanx, I think, is a great person that does, obviously it's a huge company, but it started small, and she's always been the face of it without overtaking the company. And I think she does a really nice job balancing and sharing things so that it feels like the company has a soul, but it doesn't feel like it's just like her. It's still a separate brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
And
think that
she
makes
does
a lot
it
of sense.
a lot on her own stories, and then like we'll share them, or she'll like do takeovers. But I think that's like a great representation of like she's the brand is still Spanx, but it's like she's there, and she also is constantly sharing her story and like how she built it, which I think just gives people a very personal connection with her. And people want to know that about small businesses. You don't have to get super personal. You don't have to share your bikini wax. But you have to share something, I think, so that people can find a way to connect with you.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the fourth thing that people can do is, and this is going to make some of you cringe, post interesting videos about your products and services.
Yeah. Video is kind of king right now, and I think that it's annoying. Um, but again, you have to find a way to make it work. And I shouldn't say have to. You don't have to, but it is a great way to grow right now. And if you're just like, it's not for me, it's not for my business, I can't do it. I also understand that, but also understand that like your growth is going to be slower if you can't dip into video.
Plus, I will say, so I think video is overwhelming for
Mhm.
most people. However, think about what feels overwhelming about the video. Is it specifically creating the content? Is it editing the video? All the above? Because you can work with people, whether that's a marketing agency like us or someone who you find on Fiverr to create videos for you
Yeah. And you
and
can just
also
provide the
create them
content.
in yeah, and also create them in a more evergreen way. You can even create reels using photos so that you're not
Yep.
even having to use video content.
Yeah. Yeah, a video just has to be like moving in some capacity. So, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, some of our clients just use photos and it works.
It
I
does
mean, some of
not need to
those,
be high production.
no. And also, I think another thing is people think with reels, they have to like do the transitions and splice and do all these things. And actually, reels just a video. So, if you just can find a way to make a interesting video of yourself, then that's a reel. It doesn't have to be you dancing or doing backflips or God knows what
Mm-hmm.
else. What else the kids are doing these days.
But yeah, I
Uh,
would say start simple.
yeah, but also, yeah, and I think that like you don't have to do it, right? You don't have to do anything, but if you would like to grow, it's definitely a big way to grow right now. Also recycle your videos across platforms. You can definitely post your reels on Pinterest. You can post your TikToks on Instagram. Instagram penalizes you for having the TikTok logo in, but our Gen Z marketing assistant Colin knows how to take those out. So she's going to include those, that the app that you can do that with in the show notes. So you can you can use your TikToks, and if you're on TikTok, and repurpose them to Instagram and Pinterest without the watermark. So yeah, but you can recycle video and everything else. But yeah, I don't know any app really, Jen, right now that's not prioritizing video in some capacity.
Yes. And I'll use the line that I often use with Emma. You don't have to, but it would be nice if you try just once.
Isn't it great when toddler lines, like you can recycle them with adults?
Yes. And then the last piece, the fifth thing that you can do is use hashtags and alt tags so that people can find you more easily. I think this is honestly the most interesting because we're seeing social media platforms transition to more of a search engine optimized platform.
Yep. They're like, especially Instagram, they're combing your photos for alt tags, and they're also just like looking at your photos from like an AI perspective, where they're, if someone's looking for Christmas tree in a living room, then like the AI is grabbing that so that you don't even have to necessarily have the hashtags, but I think it helps prioritize you still. I do think it's always back and forth between, do I use the 30 hashtags? Do I not? I think the most up-to-date settings or whatever recommendations are that using too many hashtags that aren't super relevant will penalize you. So keep it short and sweet. If you have any question, if instead of like trying to use 30 that are just like, trying to get you ranked somewhere, that I think is very like 2015 to 2018. These days, I think it's better to use tags that are relevant, very like hyper relevant to your photos, and that will get you ranked higher.
Yeah, absolutely. So for someone who's listening to this that is just starting out, our top tips.
I'm sorry, just one more thing. I realized we talked about alt text. Alt text is like alternative text on your photo in Instagram. I know a lot of people don't know this, so I just want to highlight that before we go.
Oh yeah, very good call.
Yeah, so you can probably Google this too. We could maybe put something in the show notes that explains or link. But if you go to Instagram and you're posting a photo, or you can go to your old photos and you click edit, and then in the bottom right of the photo, it says edit alt text, and you can add it there. You just click on that and then you write your alternative text. Alt text is it's great for people who I think it can read it to people who are blind, and help
It was the
them,
initial intent behind it.
Right. That was the initial intent. And now it's also become like more of an SEO thing where if you basically explain what the photo is. So if it's like chocolate chip cookies, you just put like chocolate chip cookies, and then that will rank you higher in chocolate chip cookies. And it also is great for people with disabilities because it can read them what the photo is, I believe.
Yes. So sorry, I jumped the gun on giving the top
it's
three
okay.
things
It's okay.
to do.
I know. I was like, oh,
you know me in top three. So most importantly, beyond multiple platforms, at least reserve the handle.
Mm-hmm.
Second, most importantly, is leverage your content across multiple channels.
Mm-hmm.
And then third, consider video.
Consider video, yes.
I know video scares a lot of small businesses, but there are easy ways to break into it.
Yeah, and there's easy way to dip your toes into it. And young people are really good with video. So like you said, and I shouldn't just say young people, I guess a lot of people, but people in Fiverr and everything. Not everyone has to be young, but it's a great way to have interns help and everything else. Gen Z are like great video people.
And I would say dabbling in video has been relatively forgiving. Like I have put out plenty of videos that I think are okay. They're not 100%, but they still play into what the algorithms are looking for to support growth and also stay relevant.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree with that. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. And also, like you said, it's forgiving. I like with photos, you can just like take forever to edit them, and video, it's just kind of like a little bit more, well, this is it, put it out.
Yes. So that's the scoop. Easy,
Yeah.
easy peasy.
I
5
love
ways to use
I
social
love
media to grow your small business.
I love a quick episode that gives like actionable tips. Ooh,
So
that was
Jesse,
a
where
little
can the
bit
people find
of
you?
Midwest actionable. I had a little bit of a twang to that. That was gross. I'm kidding, not gross. I love Midwestern people. I'm just an East Coast.
Friendly reminder, you live here.
The people can find me on Instagram at Jessie B Bernhardt, BERNHARD as in dog, T as in Tom. And they can find me on my blog at jessiebarnesbernhardt.com. Jen, where can the people find you?
You can find me at jennay.com and on Instagram, jen.nay, which is Naye. And then you can also follow at the Marketing Greenhouse on Instagram.
Yep. Or follow us or find us on our website at themarketinggreenhouse.com. You guys, fun fact, I'm going to look into our history at some point and see if Jen and I we would be related by marriage. So our husbands would be related. But I realized we both have German last names. And yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can be related to Jen.
We're just trying to get blog posts going with the podcast, and you're going to figure out if we're related through German roots.
You guys, if
this does not explain our relationship.
All right. We also, yes, this episode's going to come. We're going to do a blog post with it. So look out for that. That will also be in the show notes. And yeah, have a good week. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
See you soon.